Kevin McNamara was born in Newmarket-on-Fergus, County Clare, in June 1926. His parents were the head teachers at the local national school. The young Kevin's scholastic background stood him in good stead. When he entered Maynooth in 1942, he proved himself a brilliant student. He gained a BA in Ancient Classics with first-class honours at the age of 19 and became a Bachelor of Divinity with first place in his class 3 years later. He was ordained at the age of 23 for the Diocese of Killaloe, but continued studying. In 1954, still only 28 years old, he was appointed Professor of Dogmatic Theology at Maynooth. He was to stay there for 22 years, ending up as Vice President of the college. During his time at Maynooth, Dr. McNamara was a prolific writer and involved himself deeply in ecumenical activities. In 1976, when Bishop Eamon Casey was moved from Kerry to Galway, Dr. McNamara was nominated to succeed him. That caused some upset in the kingdom, not just that a university professor should get the job, but that he shouldn't even be a Kerry man. Dr. McNamara put a brave face on it.
Well, I think Clare people and Kerry people generally get on very well together. I have many friends in the diocese, class fellows, priests I knew as students. In my own time as a student, and many of them, of course, I taught here as a student. In a certain sense, I suppose I'm coming not so much from another diocese as from the National Seminary, which is the seminary or college of all the dioceses, the place where the great majority of the Kerry priests have been trained.
The new Bishop of Kerry was probably already on the same wavelength as most of his priests, and it wasn't long before his people also came to know and love him. When, after 8 years in Kerry, he was appointed to Dublin, they were sorry to see him go, and he was sorry to leave.
When I came to Kerry, the trouble that I had at that time passed quickly, and I think in a way that it had a good effect by way of reaction. And very quickly I had a very excellent relationship with the priests and people, to the extent that I find it very hard to leave now.
Dr. McNamara was to face a daunting task as Archbishop of Dublin. A diocese with a third of the country's Catholics, it faced serious social and religious problems, and the new Archbishop's task wasn't made any easier by a less than hearty welcome from Dublin's priests.
We circularised the priests of the diocese, that is the steering committee of the outgoing council of priests, and we asked the priests of the diocese whether they believed there was a suitable candidate to be found within the diocese.
And what sort of response did you get?
We got about 320 replies, of which almost 300 said yes to that.
This time too, Dr. McNamara made little of the opposition.
And I was very encouraged today, listening to the radio, to hear the Secretary of the Priest Council say that while he personally would have hoped for somebody from within the diocese, nevertheless that he would be happy to welcome me as Archbishop.
Dr. McNamara had a name as a retiring, if not shy man, but he belied his reputation when it came to social issues. He clashed openly with the coalition government over the pro-life and divorce referendums. The eventual 2-to-1 vote against abortion and divorce was seen by his enemies as further proof of church interference in state matters. By his supporters, it was vindication of Catholic Church teaching.
I've always been a bit puzzled by what appears to be an implication that if we had divorce in the public, and if contraceptives were freely available in every supermarket or whatever, that this would be a strong point of attraction for Protestants and Unionists in the north of Ireland.
But the battles took their toll on his health. He'd already undergone harrowing drug treatment for a form of blood cancer. The treatment reduced his natural resistance to infection to the point where he was unable to fight his final illness. He'll be remembered as a controversial figure, a man whose uncompromising stand on social and religious issues made him some enemies, but earned him the gratitude and loyalty of many others.